Pause for a moment and truly feel this. Something is changing. Not little by little, not at some distant time, but right now. You may not see the whole picture yet, but deep inside you can feel it. A quiet adjustment is taking place. A gentle movement is happening beneath the surface of your life. What once seemed delayed now feels lighter, closer, and almost certain. This is not empty hope. This is the natural response to the energy you now carry. The moment you changed on the inside, the moment you accepted that your desire already belonged to you, everything quietly began to shift. The invisible moved first, and now the visible is catching up. You are no longer standing still, waiting for life to happen. You are watching everything line up in your favor. Pieces are fitting together faster because you are no longer the same person who lived in doubt. You have stepped into a version of yourself that expects wonderful things without fear. When your expectation changes, your experience begins to change with it. Something meaningful is approaching. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because of the belief you now hold. What you continue to accept as true with confidence will eventually appear in front of you. Stay with me because what comes next may completely change the way you look at your own journey. The greatest transformation often begins in complete silence, long before anyone else can see it. There comes a point in every person's life when the struggle quietly begins to fade away. Not because every outside situation has already changed, but because something powerful has shifted inside. It happens without applause. It happens without warning. Yet it becomes the moment that changes everything. That inner change has already started within you. Once that shift becomes real, the outer world slowly has no choice but to respond. You may still wake up in the same house, work the same job, look at the same bank balance, and face familiar situations. But you are no longer seeing them through the same eyes. That changes everything. Your future is never decided by today's picture. It is shaped by the state of mind from which you look at that picture. The moment you stopped begging for answers, stopped fearing every delay, stopped asking how it would happen, and instead accepted that your desire was already real, you entered a completely different state. That state creates results. That state becomes the cause. Everything around you simply follows afterward. This is where many people give up too early, but you are different now. Keep listening because the next realization explains why everything may suddenly begin moving much faster than you ever imagined. Understand this clearly. Life is not happening against you, it is happening through you. Every meeting, every opportunity, every conversation, every unexpected event reflects the picture you carry of yourself inside. When you believed you were stuck, life reflected delay. When uncertainty filled your thoughts, your circumstances echoed confusion. But now there is a calm confidence growing inside you. You are no longer desperate for proof before believing. You are no longer searching everywhere for signs. Instead, there is a peaceful certainty that what you have accepted inwardly will naturally appear outwardly. This is where true momentum begins. The world behaves like an echo. It simply repeats what you continue to declare within your own awareness. When you remain loyal to the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled, your deeper mind accepts it as reality. Once that happens, everything begins arranging itself in ways you cannot always see. Invisible changes begin before visible ones. Conversations are taking shape. New opportunities are quietly forming. People are being guided into your path without realizing why they suddenly feel inspired to act. Watch closely, because this hidden process is often where the biggest breakthroughs begin before anyone notices them. You do not need to force anything into existence. Force belongs to fear. Force belongs to doubt. When you truly know something is yours, you naturally relax. You stop chasing. You stop trying to control every detail. Instead, you stay faithful to the new story you have accepted. Think of a seed placed into rich soil. It does not dig itself back up every day to check whether it has grown. It remains where it was planted. It trusts the unseen process. Because it rests, it grows stronger beneath the surface before anyone notices it. Your life works the same way. The reason things begin falling into place more quickly after your inner change is simple. Resistance disappears. Resistance is created whenever your desire and your belief are pulling in opposite directions. But when belief finally supports your desire, movement becomes natural. Progress becomes smoother. Doors begin opening without unnecessary struggle. Situations that once seemed impossible suddenly become surprisingly simple. Stay until the end, because the final truth may be exactly what you need to hear today. Think about this for a moment. When you truly believe something already belongs to you, everything about you changes. The way you stand changes. The way you speak changes. The way you respond to challenges changes. Even your smallest decisions begin reflecting confidence instead of fear. What once looked like rejection now feels like direction towards something better. What once felt like delay now looks like perfect preparation. The world around you may appear almost identical, yet your experience becomes completely different because your awareness has changed. Protect this new way of thinking. Do not return to the old conversations that filled your mind with doubt. Do not replay the old story of struggle and disappointment. The past only stays alive when you keep feeding it with your attention. Instead, place your attention on the reality you now choose to accept. You are not trying to become someone else. You are simply living from a better state of mind. And every state you continue to occupy eventually becomes visible in your everyday life. The secret has never been endless effort. It has always been steady belief. Stay faithful to that feeling. Stay loyal to that identity. Keep moving forward with quiet confidence, because what is already growing beneath the surface is preparing to appear at exactly the right moment. Stay firm in your knowing. If doubt shows up, do not fight it or give it more attention than it deserves. Simply return to the end. Return to the version of yourself who already lives the life you desire. Ask yourself, how does that version think? How does that version feel about tomorrow? Calm, steady, relaxed, certain. That quiet certainty is where real creative power begins. The shift has already taken place inside you. You would not even feel this growing momentum if it had not. The very sense that things are coming together is proof that you are no longer living from your old state of mind. Trust that feeling. Feed it every day. Let it become familiar. Live from it instead of chasing it. Soon, what you now feel only inside will begin showing itself in the world around you. When it happens, it may even seem completely natural, as if life was always moving in this direction. But you will know where it truly started. It began the moment you changed within. Every visible result starts with an invisible decision. Once the cause changes, the result must eventually follow. Stay with me, because what comes next may completely change the way you think about your future. One of the biggest mistakes people make is living toward their desire instead of living from it. They keep reaching, they keep hoping, they keep believing that happiness exists somewhere ahead of them. But your desire was never meant to be chased endlessly. It was meant to be accepted as part of who you already are. The moment you understand this, your whole approach changes. You stop struggling and begin embodying. You stop asking, when will it happen? And begin saying, it is already unfolding. Living from the end means you no longer see yourself as someone waiting for life to improve. Instead, you become the person who has already received what matters most. This is not pretending or acting for others. It is choosing a different state of awareness. Every possible version of you already exists. There is a version who is successful, a version who is deeply loved, a version who enjoys financial freedom, a version who feels secure, peaceful, and confident. You simply choose which version you are willing to occupy. Keep listening, because the next step explains how to make that choice feel completely natural. Ask yourself one honest question. If everything I wanted was already mine, how would I feel when no one else was around? Not how would I appear in public, not how would I impress other people, but how would I quietly feel inside? There would probably be relief, there would be peace, gratitude, stability. There would be no desperate rush, no constant need for proof. The fulfilled version of you does not spend every day searching for confirmation, because that version already expects life to cooperate. The moment you begin living from that inner position, something remarkable starts happening. Time feels different. Your future no longer seems far away, because in your heart and mind you have already arrived. The outside world is simply adjusting to the new identity you continue to accept. It has no choice but to reflect the state you consistently live from. Living towards something keeps it forever ahead of you. Living from it brings it into your present experience. This simple difference changes everything, and very few people truly understand how powerful it is. Notice the difference between saying, "I am becoming successful," and saying, "I am successful." The first keeps you moving towards something that always seems one step away. The second quietly changes your identity. Once your identity changes, your perception changes with it. You begin noticing opportunities that were always there but never stood out before. You answer challenges with more confidence. You speak more clearly. You think from possibility instead of limitation. This is not about forcing yourself to think positively every minute. It is about becoming someone different on the inside. Identity shapes perception, and perception shapes experience. If you continue seeing yourself as someone who is trying to achieve, life keeps reflecting effort. But when you truly accept yourself as someone who already carries the result within, your world begins organizing itself around that new self-image. Stay until the end, because the final piece may be the one that makes everything finally click. The secret is making your new identity feel natural. It should not feel exaggerated or impossible. It should simply feel normal. If your dream still feels too big to believe, gently move toward a thought that feels believable today. Instead of saying everything is perfect overnight, allow yourself to believe that life is improving faster every day. Let your confidence grow naturally until your desired future feels like the most reasonable outcome. Never judge your progress only by today's circumstances. What you see now is simply the reflection of older beliefs. If you measure your future by today's picture, you stay connected to yesterday's thinking. Instead, remain faithful to the unseen reality you have already accepted inside. That unseen reality is the cause. Everything visible is only the result. Living from the end also means refusing to panic when temporary situations seem confusing. The fulfilled version of you would not lose peace over a single obstacle. That version already knows everything is working together perfectly. So choose that response today. Think from completion instead of confusion. Live from confidence instead of fear. You are no longer hoping your life will change. You are becoming the change itself. Each time your mind drifts back to old doubts, gently return to the simple truth that everything is already unfolding. Over time, that truth becomes stronger than fear. Then your outer world begins changing with surprising speed. You move differently. You speak differently. You make decisions differently. There is confidence without pride, patience without worry, and expectation without pressure. That is the state that creates powerful alignment. Be that person now. Walk as if it is settled. Think as if it is certain. Feel as if it is already part of your life. And watch how naturally your world begins reflecting the version of you who no longer waits. There is a quiet movement happening in your life that your eyes cannot fully see yet. Yet it is more real than anything standing in front of you. The moment you accepted the feeling that your desire was already fulfilled, a sequence quietly began. Not random, not accidental. Every step became part of a larger unfolding that leads you from where you seem to be today to the place you have already accepted within yourself. Many people expect transformation to arrive with dramatic moments, loud celebrations, or instant miracles. But real change usually begins in silence. It moves gently. It looks ordinary. That is why so many people miss it. They search for something extraordinary, while extraordinary change hides inside ordinary events. An unexpected conversation, a delayed plan, a new idea, a chance meeting, even a closed door. None of these are interruptions. They are part of the path. Every event, whether pleasant or difficult, becomes useful once your inner state has changed. Once you truly accept the end within yourself, the middle begins arranging itself. You no longer need to control every step. In fact, trying to control everything often slows the process. There is a deeper wisdom working beyond what your conscious mind can calculate. It knows who needs to move. It knows what must shift. It understands the perfect timing. Your only responsibility is remaining faithful to the end you have already accepted. There will be moments when the path seems confusing. Something may happen that appears completely unrelated to what you desire. Some situations may even seem to move in the opposite direction. But do not rush to judge them. Many of the greatest turning points first appear as disappointments. A rejected opportunity may quietly guide you towards something better. A delay may place you in exactly the right position for a greater result. A conversation you never planned may open a door you never imagined. If you react with fear, you return to your old state. But if you remain calm and remind yourself that every step is leading you forward, you stay connected to the unseen movement already taking place. This unfolding does not require struggle, it requires trust. Just as a seed grows beneath the soil without needing your constant attention, your accepted belief continues growing beneath the surface of your life. People may suddenly think of you. Opportunities may appear from unexpected places. Decisions may be made without your knowledge, all responding to the state you continue to live from. The speed of this unfolding depends on your consistency. Constant doubt slows momentum. Quiet confidence strengthens it. Listen carefully, because this final idea ties everything together. The path is not outside you. It flows through you as gentle ideas, peaceful nudges, and simple moments of inspiration. You may suddenly feel guided to make a call, visit a place, learn a skill, or begin something new. Trust those quiet impulses. They are not random. They are part of the unfolding. They never feel forced. They feel natural. You simply live your life one step at a time, and without realizing it, everything slowly aligns. Then one day you will look back, smile, and see how every small moment connected perfectly to bring you exactly where you were always meant to be. Now you can begin to understand why every delay had a purpose. Every detour carried hidden value. Every unexpected moment was quietly moving you towards something greater. What once looked random was actually unfolding with incredible precision. When you truly see this, peace replaces frustration. You stop arguing with what you see in front of you. You stop demanding instant proof that everything is working. Instead, you observe your life with quiet confidence, knowing that something important is happening even when you cannot yet see the full picture. That inner knowing becomes your greatest strength. The unfolding has already started. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. Every hour brings unseen movement. Every day creates new alignment. Even when everything looks exactly the same on the surface, something beneath it is changing. Stay faithful to the reality you have already accepted within yourself. Continue thinking from the result instead of toward it. Continue feeling as though it is already complete. Allow each step to appear naturally. You do not need to know every detail. You do not need to predict every moment. Your only responsibility is remaining loyal to the person you have chosen to become. Once that identity is accepted, the path naturally begins opening before you. Stay with me until the end, because the next truth may explain why some people move forward quickly while others stay trapped for years. There is only one thing that truly delays fulfillment, and it is not your circumstances. It is not another person. It is not bad timing. The greatest delay comes from repeating the old story about yourself. The story you continue telling yourself about who you are, what happened to you, and what you believe is possible quietly recreates your past again and again. If you want faster progress, if you want life to begin falling into place more naturally, you must completely release that old story. Listen carefully. The old story often sounds familiar. Nothing ever works out for me. I have tried before. Everything takes too long. People always let me down. Money never stays with me. These are not just passing thoughts. They become identities, and identity shapes experience. As long as you continue seeing yourself as the person who struggled, waited, or failed, life keeps reflecting that version back to you. You cannot fully enter a new future while emotionally living inside yesterday. This simple realization changes everything. When you truly accept it, many people talk about creating a better life, while secretly remaining loyal to old disappointments. They speak about new dreams, yet they continue replaying old failures in their minds. They say they believe better days are coming, but they constantly return to memories that tell a completely different story. That divided thinking slows progress, not because life is against them, but because their attention is moving in two different directions. Releasing the old story does not mean pretending your past never happened. It means refusing to let yesterday decide who you are today. Your past only keeps its power when you continue feeding it with emotion. Every time you replay an old disappointment with strong feeling, you bring that experience back to life inside your awareness. And whatever remains active within you naturally looks for another way to express itself. But when you gently withdraw your attention from those memories, they slowly lose their influence. Just like a fire fades without fuel, old patterns disappear when they are no longer fed. Keep watching, because this next idea may completely change the way you see yourself. True freedom begins when you stop introducing yourself internally as the person you used to be. You cannot confidently say you are thriving while secretly identifying with a version of yourself who always lacked support. You cannot fully welcome abundance while constantly repeating stories about financial struggle. You cannot expect peaceful relationships while holding tightly to old betrayals. Instead, ask yourself one simple question: who am I today? Not who was I, not what happened to me. Who am I now? The moment you choose a new self-image, protect it carefully. Your mind naturally wants to return to what feels familiar because repetition creates comfort. But repeating the old story is exactly what keeps it alive. Every time that familiar voice appears, gently replace it. Do not argue with it. Do not fight it. Simply remind yourself that you are no longer that version of yourself. Feel the difference. That older version reacted differently, expected differently, and saw the world through fear. You are free to choose another way at any moment. The instant you fully accept that freedom, something powerful begins happening inside you. Once the old story is released, everything starts moving with greater ease, because there is no longer a battle taking place inside you. There is no conflict between where you were and where you are going. You become united with your present identity, and that inner unity creates momentum. Notice how much lighter you feel when you stop carrying old disappointments everywhere you go. Notice the peace that arrives when you stop defining yourself by former limitations. That peace is not weakness, it is creative strength. You do not need to explain your new identity to anyone else. You do not need permission from other people before you begin living differently. Every lasting transformation begins inside first. The outside world simply catches up later. Even if people continue seeing you through the lens of your past, do not accept their version as your truth. They will eventually respond to the identity you consistently choose. The world does not decide who you are, you do. If you keep telling yourself the story of delay, life reflects delay. If you keep repeating the story of struggle, life reflects struggle. But when you consistently live from a story filled with progress, peace, and steady growth, your experiences begin changing to match it. Do not keep emotional reminders from a version of yourself you have already outgrown. Step fully into the new identity and allow life to confirm it naturally. Eventually, there comes a moment when progress no longer feels slow. It begins feeling certain. Before that moment arrives, everything may appear quiet, almost invisible. Yet beneath the surface, countless pieces are already moving into place. Circumstances are adjusting. New opportunities are quietly forming. Relationships are shifting. Everything begins arranging itself around the identity you have accepted within. Then one day it seems as though everything changes at once. This is how real transformation often happens. Think about water warming inside a pot. For a long time, nothing dramatic appears to happen. The temperature slowly rises degree by degree. Then suddenly it reaches the point where it boils. The change looks instant, but it was prepared by everything that happened before. Your life often works the same way. If you have remained faithful to your new identity, if you have continued returning to the fulfilled version of yourself instead of the old story, you are quietly approaching your own breakthrough point. Keep listening, because the final idea may be the one that stays with you long after this message ends. Expect that breakthrough with calm confidence instead of anxious waiting. The version of you who already lives the life you desire is not shocked when good things happen. That version quietly expects alignment because it has become natural. When you expect struggle, your mind prepares for obstacles. When you expect delay, you unknowingly create more waiting. But when you calmly expect life to move in your favor, your entire way of living begins to change. Your body relaxes, your decisions become clearer, your words carry more confidence, your actions become steady instead of rushed. You stop asking whether it will happen because deep inside you already know the process is unfolding. Expectation quietly shapes experience. Many people spend years expecting disappointment without realizing it. But today you can choose something different. You can expect progress. You can expect peace. You can expect opportunities that seem perfectly timed. Continue living from that expectation every single day. Let it become your normal way of thinking. Keep your attention on the future you have already accepted within, and allow life to reveal each next step naturally. One day you will look back and realize that what once felt impossible was simply preparing itself to arrive at exactly the right time.